I apologize for what we're about to witness. Make my dreams come true. All I want for Christmas is more Dogman 2. The Wrath of the Litter.
Correct. Thank you. That's all everybody wants for Christmas. They just don't realize it yet is the problem.
No, but they will.
They will. They will.
Dogs, they're coming. They're coming your way. They'll be here soon.
I'm going to tell you the story of my first love. It happened at Christmas time. Every year I put puppy on my list, but for whatever reason, Santa couldn't seem to get it together.
Hi, Mariah. Have you heard of the Community Charity League fashion show we're putting on?
I would love to be in it.
Great. We're short one girl with a dog.
Oh, I had gotten myself into a fix. I had always wanted a puppy, but now I really needed one.
Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You.
So anyway, we watched a Mariah Carey movie.
God damn it. God damn it.
Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You, the film.
Yeah. I feel like this was one of the most obvious, like, kids movies that we've watched.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Despite that, like, I do think that there was still reason to watch this. Like, at first I was a little bit worried about it, and it delivered a bit of the problem that I thought it would be, which is just that it's for, like, 8-year-olds. And
Correct.
so it's for 8-year-old little girls, which, like, that's fair. And so, I mean, like, the messages and everything are just extremely smash you over the head with them, and it's kind of just long and boring.
It's way too long, for
it's
sure.
Way too long.
They had to hit the hour 20, so
yes,
they sure did.
I like that. I was talking about this with Tanya, and I was saying that I love that this movie is so cookie cutter in so many ways that it hits the exact 1 hour 30 minutes on the dot for the fucking film.
Done.
Like, it's just done. Okay, how much do we need to do to distribute this as a full-length feature film? An hour and 30 minutes? Okay. And time. All right, let's cut, wrap it. We're done.
Yeah.
Mariah needs to leave the studio now. She's very busy. We're not going to have her for very long. Please do not look at Mariah. do not talk to Mariah.
Right.
Like,
avert your eyes from Mariah.
Mm-hmm.
Mariah
she
was
is
never
too
pure.
bright. She's incandescent. Yeah. if you look too long at the Mariah, you will burn out your retinas.
She,
but like,
she will steal your soul. You don't understand.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, based on this movie, possibly.
This movie's pretty soulless, I will say.
At the end of it, it gets... Ooh, there's some things that I'd like to discuss from this film still. I want to say really quickly, though, Mariah Carey gets a little too much shit. Like, I don't want to shit on Mariah Carey for this. This is Mariah Carey accepting a paycheck, which, fine, fair enough, whatever.
Well,
but,
like, I have some background about this, actually.
Oh, okay.
So Mariah Carey put out a children's book called All I Want for Christmas Is You, which is about a child that gets a puppy for Christmas.
And this is based on that?
It's the laziest fucking children's book ever, because
so it is based on that book.
Yes, because every page is literally just the lyrics to All I Want for Christmas Is You, with a children's book art implying there's a plot behind it.
Yeah.
About a puppy. So it's based on a children's book that is literally just copy paste the lyrics of the song. That's this film.
Yeah. See, again, that children's book, when you say that, like, she wrote it or whatever, I'm like, no, what that is.
No, she didn't write it. No.
Sure, yeah, well, but I'm just... Well, but like you said, like, she put out a children's book, and I'm like, she didn't put out jack shit. Her management team went out and found a, like, illustrator, and they made a book deal as her management team. Like, this is
Yeah.
strong vibes. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure her involvement with that was next to zero. If that
I
makes
mean,
sense.
like, about when this came out, because it was 2017, that's when the All I Want for Christmas Is You memes started kind of piling on. So I'm sure this was just a, hey, we need to get on this and get as much money as possible as we can before that trend ends. And unfortunately for us, it never ended, and that trend's just going still.
Are you saying that this movie was like a really quick, cheap hack job of All I Want for Christmas Is You just to cash in on a meme? Would
Some
they
sort
do
of a
that?
cash grab with like very
For
poor writing?
Christmas?
Absolutely not. I legally cannot say that.
Okay, I wouldn't. Yeah, legally, I think that we're
legally
not
I can't
saying
say
that.
I can
Illegally, I
speculate.
think that that's 100% exactly what this is, and it
Correct.
fucking sucks. But
Yeah.
no, it absolutely probably isn't legally. No,
No, not legally.
No.
But if I were to speculate, I would say
mhm.
so. Yeah.
I would say that
Yeah.
110%. Yeah, and it's absolutely proven. Yeah, this is a 30-minute movie. Like, so what this is we talked about this a lot. I mean, it's very obviously this because you said right away, it's too long. It is a 30-minute Christmas special for TV. Like, this should be an episode of a show, right? Like, this should just be like a special on Cartoon Network kind of.
It should be a 22-minute episode with 8 minutes of ad breaks.
Yes. Yeah, and honestly, it would probably be okay as that. Like, it's
you could cut it down quite a bit,
garbage, but like, it's
that,
when I say that
wouldn't
it's
solve.
Cheap, it's not. Yeah, it wouldn't solve all the problems.
It wouldn't solve the problems, but the animation's cheap for sure. They copy paste stuff a lot. Like they have the same
food fight
7 or 8 models, but yeah, it's not food fight. It's not like Nazis marching through the street.
No, and it's not like the wonky models and like smear frames and all that shit. It's just so it's not like none of this is incompetent to an extent. It's all just very cheap and then stretched out really, really thin, and it just feels like a very hack rush job by a bunch of people that are probably pretty competent, but just had absolutely no time to cash in on the meme and didn't want to put any extra money or effort into it beyond what, it's going to say Mariah Carey and it's going to say All I Want for Christmas Is You, and that'll sell, so do the rest of it as fucking cheap as possible before people realize they've been scammed.
It kept throwing me off that this 8-year-old has Mariah Carey's voice.
It's real weird. It's
weird.
Really weird. Everybody in this movie, so this is one of those weird movies where the roles are reversed. And what I mean by that is that every child in this movie is this emotionally mature, hey, listen, like, it's okay. Like, it doesn't matter that the dog tore up some of the house. Like, it's still a puppy. Just be nice to it. And all the parents are like whiny little children that are like, I can't believe that your doggy did a bad doo-doo thingy. And like, they like cry and pound their hands. And it's like, oh my God, please. Like, and like the little girls are going to like a fashion show and they're like, we're going to go out shopping. Do you want to bring your puppy? Oh, did you volunteer for this? No, I'm not on the committee. And it's like, you're 8.
You're 8
like that's what it
are you
starts
talking
out
about, kid?
That is legitimately one of the first conversations in this movie is Mariah Carey meeting her extremely bitchy upper class classmates.
What is this world even? Right?
Oh God.
It's a world where if you don't have a dog, you should be ostracized from society.
Yeah. If you don't have a dog, you should be Mariah Carey directly before she released, right as she released Glitter, and everybody suddenly hated her, and she had a breakdown.
Have you heard of the community charity league fashion show we're putting on?
The what?
I signed up to do refreshments.
Of course I had heard of it. It was
signed
only
up
like
to
the
do-
biggest talk of
Isn't
the
she
town.
8?
Such a cool idea.
Wait.
One second. Yeah.
Raise money for the pet shelter.
Isn't she 8?
Fashion and friends. Matching outfits for you and your pet.
We're talking about being in the show.
Really? Oh my gosh, I would love to be in it. Thank you so much.
Great. We're short one girl with a dog.
Oh, I don't have a dog.
Oh no.
Sorry, we thought...
Ew.
Ew.
She doesn't have a dog? Ew.
Wait,
No
I'm
dog.
gonna have one
Ugh.
soon. I'm gonna ask for one for
Time
Christmas.
to excommunicate Mariah
Super
Carey.
cool. Perfect.
Not only does her bitchy from the movie Clueless friends
Yes. Yeah.
hate her for not having a dog until she lies about having a dog to them to try and get in with the cool crowd.
Mm-hmm.
But also Harry Potter and Anna from Frozen are there, and they don't like her either until she has a dog.
Harry Potter and
Like,
Anna from Frozen are real, and they're Mariah Carey's friends,
Like-
and you leave them alone.
You know those YouTube like made for the algorithm videos?
It's
Where they,
really
like,
yes.
They
yes.
put Harry Potter in or whatever, and so they can put
It's
it
Mariah
on the...
Carey with Shrek and
It's like
Elsa
that.
from Frozen, and it
That's
does
not even
look
a
like
joke.
that. Yes. No, it's really creepy how weird her like two friends. So you're saying they don't treat her nice either, but they do. It's just that they also have dogs, which is weird. But like
Correct.
it is literally Harry Potter. It's a kid with like little black
Yes.
frame, round glasses, and a yellow and black scarf, and a little lightning scarf.
Yeah, they put the scar on. Like,
And this
you know it's
girl
Harry
with
Potter.
like red pigtails, and it's fucking weird as shit. It's super strange because every time I'm like, did they just take like some free asset models? Like, is this like a Blender program? Like,
it
what are
would
they
have been
doing
better
with
if they
this?
like took the real model and just made it shorter.
Yeah.
Like just made a smaller adult model of Anna from Frozen.
It's really weird, but every single little child in this movie has a dog with them. Like from the beginning, she's talking to her bitchy classmates, and they're all like, "Oh, well, did you volunteer for this? No, I'm not on the committee." And it's like, "You better be ready for our fashion show. What did you design?" And it's like, "What is this? Like, are you going for
You're
brunch
right.
later with the family?"
Like,
And
oh my
all this
God.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then and it's like, "Yeah, you're 8," but they have these. Like the one girl, like they each have dogs that match exactly what their quote unquote personality and like design is and stuff. So like if they're wearing like darker
Yeah.
clothes, then they'll have like a small, like if it's a small kid with like darker clothes, then they have like a small black chihuahua, right? Do you know what I mean? The Dalmatian
Feels
kid
almost like
has
like a Doctor Who episode or something.
yeah, like everybody
they're,
has an
they're paired up
exact
with something
copy.
and they're alien people.
Yeah,
Or something, right? Like
Yeah, because the dogs follow them exactly and like listen to their commands
yeah.
basically by telepathy. Because like the
Telepathy,
other dogs,
yeah.
like they all just like they're like, okay, it's time for us to go home, and they like turn around, and the dog just like robot
rotate 45
turn.
degrees in
Yes,
Blender.
and just start walking off. Like it's like a Stepford Wives thing, but with dogs.
You know, it makes more sense later because when Mariah gets a real dog, all the fake dogs hate the real dog.
Yes,
Because
Yeah,
they
yeah.
realize that that dog is not part of the hive mind of dogs in this film.
All the kids hate that dog too. Like every
Yeah.
kid in this town has a dog, and they're all like, "Oh, Mariah doesn't have a dog. Oh my god, does she have no dog?"
Like, we made jokes about a dog cult when we were watching this, but it's literally a dog cult.
Oh yes, yeah.
And they sacrifice any child that does not have a dog by the end of Christmas.
Absolutely, yes. There's a ticking
That
clock in this.
happens.
There are stakes. And the weird thing though is that then the minute that she gets the dog throughout this movie, then everybody's like, "Oh my god, did you see that Mariah Carey has a dog? Ew, gross." And it's like, what the
Gross, a
fuck?
dog.
Like, there's just nobody is happy with her no matter what. Like, and she's happy with nobody no matter what. Like, everybody is
Correct.
just kind of a miserable, awful person. And you can tell that they're doing this setup for, okay. And I mean, like, it would be fine as a 22-minute, like you said, with ad breaks,
Yeah.
kind of Christmas special that they run once or twice on Cartoon Network. It wouldn't be good, but at least it would make sense. And instead, it's just stretched out, and it just keeps going on and on and on, and they have to drill into you because, like, the moral is obviously going to be, this is for 8-year-olds. Oh, well, it didn't matter that her dog was different. Everybody is, like, people
Everybody's
are different.
different and you're unique
Yay,
and cool.
we love each other.
But that's not the
Hooray.
motto. The motto is that this
does-
dog sucks.
Eventually,
And it
yeah, like
ruins
part of
my
it is
life.
that they keep on having to stretch it out. So part of the problem of that is to like
Yeah.
for her to be shitty to this dog for an hour and a half, it grinds it into the ground, right?
It's
like
depressing is what it is.
because
Yeah.
you either end up with a point where she has like an hour of this movie with her with no dog, so she doesn't have a chance to be shitty to it, and then it's like, well, but then what's the movie about? Like, what's she even doing?
Mhm.
So nothing's happening. Or you do what this movie did, which is you give her the dog right away, but then she has to be shitty to it for the runtime of the movie until the end, which is like an hour and 10 minutes of Mariah Carey just mistreating this dog in the worst possible ways because it's not Princess, the
Correct.
dog that I wanted.
Yeah, correct. This movie is all about judging animals for
Mhm.
ruining your life and not being your magical idea of what a perfect animal is in your dreamscape of a brain.
Yes.
I don't, but like, which would the motto, like, okay, so they could have said having a dog is harder than I think it is, which I think is what they
Yes.
were trying to do. But
That's
what they
exactly
said
what
is,
they're trying to do.
but what they ended up saying was having a dog is actually awful and it will ruin your life and your relationships.
Yes.
And I'm like, what?
Yeah, it'll ruin your
I
life
don't
and
like-
relationships. And honestly, you should admit if you have a shitty dog. Well, we'll get. I want the ending of this gets buck wild
It's
for me.
so weird.
I was stunned when
Yeah.
they went there. So the movie starts with this. So she's got like her friends that are the friends that she wants to have, and then her actual friends.
Correct.
And both sets still have dogs, which is the funny thing. And then she wants to get her own dog so she can make it to the winter fashion show that they have in
each
town.
individual person in the dog cult has a dog with them, one dog per
Yes.
person. If she doesn't have a dog for her person, she can't join the dog cult fashion show.
Correct. And if you're not in the dog cult fashion show, then they burn you at the stake in the center of the town by Christmas Eve.
Which is fine because it's a charity for the local shelter. So,
well, yeah, everybody warms up
Yeah.
around the fire.
Yeah.
So they have that, and then her parents hate dogs. Her dad's allergic, and her mom is extremely OCD. And I don't mean to.
yeah,
People say that as like I kind of don't want to get into. People say, "Oh, like I'm straightening my pens." Oh, it's so OCD of me. Like it's a really overused kind of term and makes it a little bit meaningless. But this mother is like, it's terrifying the stuff that she's doing. Like she's doing like okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, like opening a door, like counting the number of times that she has to turn the knob and like lock and unlock it and stuff. And you're like, oh my god, like they're making this woman have some problems. You need to talk to somebody. This isn't a healthy thing. There's a lot of that in this movie.
And then Mariah really wants a puppy. You could tell because she drew a dog in ice skates on the thin ice of the ice rink. And her parents won't get her a dog, so she's theorizing about like why she never gets one for Christmas. Maybe Santa gets drunk and goes on a bender and leaves it at the North Pole.
I was sure Santa really wanted me to have a puppy, but for whatever reason, he couldn't seem to get it together. I mean,
Santa
I
Claus
didn't
is
know
a
how they ran
fucking
things up
mess.
there in the North Pole.
God. Rolling out of bed at 11, just blurry-eyed, all fucked up.
Yeah, I can
You
remember.
don't want to talk to that guy.
God! There goes the fucking.
Oh
But it seemed to me
no!
like maybe Santa was in over his head.
Oh no, that's actually the plot.
What?
That Santa's fucking drunk.
Boss, excuse us, sir. You forgot a couple.
Santa's fucking
I'm not
drunk.
sure about that.
Yeah, right. They did have that scene at the beginning.
Or maybe the parents show up with a shotgun aimed at Santa and says, "You put that fucking dog back" when he comes down the chimney with it.
Yep, they had that. Yeah, they had her parents were sitting there as Santa came down the chimney and like threatened him. They're like, "You get the fuck out of our house right the fuck now with that shitty ass dog, you asshole, you absolute moron."
And then after that, she has like a dream where she's flying with her magical Christmas powers that she's awakened as being an X-Men with this dog through the sky. And we find out later that she had this dream right afterwards because she's been huffing glitter.
Yes, yeah. She was making the Christmas star, and
sniffing
it's
the
showing
glitter
her
as she was
like
doing it. Yeah.
it starts with her doing the craft, and then it like slowly transforms into her dream, and then it shows her like over the glitter, and like every time like they fade from the glitter cloud into the dream, and then from the glitter cloud back to like real life, and you're like, oh yeah, she's just huffing the glitter, huh?
She's sniffing the glue stick and huffing the glitter. That's what's causing these wild fantasy dreams.
Oh my god. If I go to a Mariah Carey concert, I'll see Princess, right? Like, it's mandatory now that if I see Mariah Carey, I see Princess.
Well, every time you go to a Mariah Carey concert, they hand you a pill at the door. So...
And you get transported to the town with one person, one dog?
Yeah, that's how it works.
You have to go, you go to the Mariah Carey concert, you knock, and you show them your ticket, and they're like, okay, and your dog? And you're like, wait, am I supposed to do I have to bring a dog?
Huffing glitter?
Hey, they don't have a dog. Get them out. Get them the fuck out of here. There's no dog. We've got a no dogger.
They have a bouncer that throws
security
out.
like tackles you instantly.
Naughty.
What?
What?
She was huffing glitter and then saw some pervert running out into the street. What?
But
thanks,
so
Mariah.
Then her dad shows up with a box that's like shaking around and such. And he goes, "Oh hey, your uncle Reggie, he had a dog, but he doesn't want the dog, I guess, or maybe something. I don't know. I'm making up some dumbass excuse."
Well, looky here.
What's that, Daddy?
I have a proposal for you.
At least he didn't wrap it. I guess, right?
Reggie needs a dog sitter for, you know, his pooch while he's away.
Uncle Reggie has a dog?
It was a recent acquisition.
It's done in such a transparent way where it's like, even as an 8-year-old, I think I'd have been like, Dad, this is my dog, right? Thanks. Like, I appreciate it, I guess. But like, the funny thing to me is at the end of this, when they reveal that the dad's like, well, actually, I won't say the reasons why I got the dog, but when he's like, well, actually, like, your Uncle Reggie didn't have this dog, kind of thing. The mom is like, oh, and you're like, wait, what?
I thought we were just dog sitting this dog for 5 months.
Like, yeah, what?
Idiot.
Like, it's just the fucking, it's the dumbest thing that everybody else in the movie is surprised by it. But I mean, I would be surprised by what he does say about it. We'll get to that. I'm leaving this.
It's this obvious, like, matted fur, filthy stray.
Yes.
Basically. It's super obvious.
Yeah. And then they have this scene of the dog being shitty, but I use that in, like, I want to put air quotes around that in the biggest way possible, because this movie, I feel like maybe it was just a budget thing, but I don't know. They show it tearing up like a pillow later and stuff, but they have it just run around the room playfully. It doesn't wreck anything.
It's enjoying life.
Yeah, it's literally just playing. And like, it doesn't even wreck anything. And they're just like, oh no, oh god, I ran under the Christmas tree, oh my god. And they're like having this panic attack, like the whole family. And you're going like, it's a dog that's playing, and she's like, I didn't want a dog like this. And she's basically in tears, like, where I was like, this isn't Princess, this is a shitty filth dog. You take this fucking filth rat out of here. And it's like, oh my, Mariah, no.
Mariah, please.
I feel like Mariah Carey, after this movie, should have gone to her agents and sued them for slander for this fucking thing, because it makes her look so bad.
We did forget to introduce Grandpa Bill.
You can go ahead. Yeah, there's a side plot to try and expand out the length of this movie a little bit.
So Grandpa Bill hates their neighbors because their neighbors always put on big light shows, and he can't. So he's jealous of them, and he's also a pervert who really loves Christmas lights, like sexually.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So he keeps going over to their house and like
Tangling himself up in lights.
getting off on the fact of like
Mhm, mhm.
replacing a bulb so that they stop blinking.
Yep.
Oh, he's a beautiful specimen.
Grandpa, did you do something to Mr. Ingersoll's lights?
I peed all over them.
This weird light pervert.
Unblinker.
He took
Screw
one of
it
their
in
bulbs.
anywhere on the Strand, and they all become unblinkers.
They'll never
It'll
know.
Drive Ingersoll blinking mad.
He's a fucking
Grandpa,
light pervert.
That's so naughty.
And then coming back to the house and being like, yeah, that'll really piss him off.
He goes back inside and he's like, oh, it was so good. Oh,
Does this over
Daddy
and over
likes-
again.
oh.
I don't know if
Finally,
the
I
Fonz
did the
knew what he
lights.
was doing. I don't know what character he signed up for.
This is actually Henry Winkler. This is the Fonz.
The fuck?
It's he really has started to do some character work, hasn't he?
I guess. Why did he need to be pervert Christmas like, Grandpa?
I think that they just got him on set and he just said things. He's recorded them.
Jesus.
But
Okay, but so the dog
that's happening in the background of this.
Yeah, the
thing,
dog's doing things in the house, horrible things that dogs do, like chewing on toys and rolling over and wanting pets and eating food that they leave
wanting
out.
to sleep in the dog bed.
Oh, in the
that her
dog bed they
parents-
bought for a dog.
That her
Yeah.
parents bought her to have the dog in, but she's like, no. The very first time that they introduce this dog, she's got the dog bed and a dog toy beside it. And the dog runs in and he grabs the toy and he plays with it and then he jumps in the bed and she goes, no, those are for Princess, not you, you filthy fucking animal. And she
I already
rips them out of
gave you her fucking collar, you piece of shit. You can't have her bed too.
Yes, she actually, yeah. She's like, you got loaned the collar, but there's no way you filthy rat will ever touch her, deign to touch her bed, you fucking garbage animal. She rips it away from this dog as it's sleeping.
I hate it.
And throws it on the top shelf and makes the dog sleep on the fucking floor. And you're like, what? What are you doing, Mariah? Mariah?
Did you sign off on this, Mariah? What happened?
Like,
How did
excuse
you,
me?
Did you know?
That's Princess's bed.
What?
What the fuck?
Borrow her collar, but not her bed.
What? What a... Wow! How are you... Oh man, she's treating this dog like a second-class
No,
dog.
This is for the toy drive.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Mariah sucks. Jeez.
But yeah, I just want to, like, really quickly, too, with the whole Henry Winkler light pervert thing. This was to what I was saying earlier about, like, the role reversal of all the children being adults and all of the adults being children. Is that, of course, like, he's this big, whiny man-child that wants to get off on stealing lights. And Mariah Carey has to constantly, like, go out of the house and stop him from committing crimes.
Yeah.
As the adult, and it's like, what? Like, it's just fucking weird. It's one of those ones that everybody also leaves the door open and the windows open.
Yeah, it's
all
the middle
the
of winter.
time as it's blizzarding. Yeah, there's snow everywhere.
What is their heat bill?
This is in upstate New York, and it's
What?
like ice cold. It's showing everybody with like frozen lakes and everything, but they have their windows and doors open at all times.
I'm starting to question if the parents are even human, because the way they cook steaks upsets me.
Oh fuck yeah. Yes. I mean, I don't understand. This is very normal if you've never
They
cooked
have a
real
cast
Albertan
iron
steak.
skillet on their
mhm.
stove, and they just stacked 4 steaks on top of each other into a
Yeah.
pile.
What? Yeah.
So not like one
Yeah,
of them
yeah,
is
that's what you
touching
do.
the pan at most, and the rest are just being cooked off of the residual steam.
How else are you supposed to have like different kinds of rarity for your steak?
What is
If
this
you can just do it's a shortcut, boys. Okay, so like the outsides, if you've got 2 people in the house that want well done, 2 people want blue rare, you just, you do the steak stack.
They label the steaks per person that's going to eat them.
Apparently,
No, because the dog stole the husband's steak, and the mom says specifically, "That was your steak. You don't get to eat tonight."
Yes, yeah, yep.
What?
Yeah, that's when the dog finally starts acting shitty. And to make it clear, like, so this is after, though. The dog before this, all the dog has done, it hasn't destroyed anything, it hasn't chewed anything, it hasn't done anything like that. It shows her rip the dog toy and the bed away, and them constantly yell at the dog every time that it tries to run around the house and play, and instead they just won't do anything with it, and they tell it to sit down and do nothing. And after a while of that, and this is where the movie is kind of like, it's accurate and it's portraying the shitty way of taking care of a dog well, but then the moral message never goes all the way, where it turns the other side of it, and it's also just too long. Because then the dog starts chewing on, like, shoes. Like, she takes away the dog toy
It gains
and the
anxiety.
bed.
Yeah.
And it immediately then, it's like, she's like, okay, you have to just sit there and do nothing. And then she walks out of the room, and then it immediately shows the dog go to the shoes and start chewing on it. It's like, yeah, the dog's fucking bored. You didn't give it anything. And then it goes and eats the steak when they don't, like, feed the dog and stuff. So it's like, no shit, really weird. God, this movie
It's also bad,
infuriated me.
like, if she's going to bed, she's like, "All right, dog, now I want you to literally do nothing and fall asleep. You should act like a stuffed animal instead of a living creature.
Yes.
And if you don't, I'll be very mad at you." And then the dog pukes on the floor, and she's like, "Oh God, I can't believe this dog is being a living creature."
Yeah, at
This
one
is
time
awful.
it jumps up on the bed, and it goes like,
Yeah.
it crawls over to her, and she's like, "You're not allowed on the bed," and it licks her face, like, really gently, like, "Please?" And she goes, "Ew, that's disgusting," and, like, throws it on the floor, and you're like,
Shit, like, Mariah Carey hates animals. Is the only thing I'm learning from this movie.
right? Like, I'm like,
Yeah.
God, Mariah Carey really needed to sue them. Like, fire
What
her
the
whole
fuck?
team. You
She
make her look
absolutely
so
hates
bad in
animals.
this. You look so bad. So it's just, that is the
'Cause-
rest of this movie in so many ways, is her just
Yes,
treating
in a
this
way.
animal like shit
'Cause,
for
like,
an
the-
hour.
The dog's upset at them for treating it like shit, which is fair. So then it runs away out of the collar, and we get a huge chase scene, which results in the deaths of at least 20 people on the ice rink later.
Yeah, it runs out onto the ice rink and, like, knocks all these people over, and they're all screaming and crying, and there's police sirens going off in the background.
Yep.
God, no humanity!
And the one thing Mariah takes away from this is that dog is trying really hard to ruin her reputation and her life.
Correct.
That is the message she took from this situation.
I can't believe how shitty this dog is that it hates
To
me
me
this much.
specifically. Yes. This is so bad. Like,
yeah,
it's so emotionally manipulative and depressing, and what the fuck?
It looked like I could say goodbye to choir altogether thanks to Jack.
Yeah, fucking dog.
Jack, cool it.
Shit
And
dog
Jack
problem.
wasn't finished destroying my reputation. Oh no.
Oh
He had
no,
much
that
bigger
dog.
plans for me.
Hey, buddy.
What?
Mariah.
And she keeps on doing things, like, so then she
Yeah.
goes out to the caroling thing at one point, and she's like, everybody's gonna bring their dogs. I hate my dog. Maybe I'm just gonna lock it away. And she, like, throws it in this pen that she made, and she's like, there, you have a bone and some blankets, so I don't know, occupy yourself. And they're like, maybe you should take your dog. And she's like, but I hate my dog. I'm like, I guess maybe I should take it, fine. And then she takes it there, and it ruins the Christmas caroling by howling when the people are singing, and then everybody hates the dog, and they throw tomatoes at it, and they try and, like, hit it with pitchforks and torches the whole time.
Torches. Yeah, it's like Frankenstein. Yeah.
There's a little girl that constantly keeps finding this dog. Like, at various times it runs away, and it runs beside her as she's sledding, this other little girl. And the little girl sees this dog and turns to her mom, and she goes, "Mommy, a monster!" And the mom's like, "Oh, don't look at it! Oh, the horror!" And it's like shielding the girl's eyes.
Mommy, it's a monster. Make him stop, Mommy.
Every other dog in this film makes the same motions of the humans that walk with it, and head turns and everything. So, like, it's the only non-robotic dog in this town.
Yeah.
It makes sense that they would hate it.
Correct.
Right? It's an organic being in an inorganic situation.
I expected one of the dog, like, at some point, three of the dogs to see its dog, and, like, as it walks past, they suddenly just raise a paw and go,
yeah.
This is the invasion of the body snatchers. Just it's not one of us.
It is, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, it has that feel
in this
real
town
bad.
that acts like a dog. Fuck. Oh man. So, anyways, we go back to Grandpa Bill, who's in a killdozer trying to destroy his neighbor's house.
Yeah, he armored up a good old bulldozer. We have the bird's eye view. There's a chopper, and you're just seeing it down the road, and it's like, we've got Bill is out again.
Mariah gets on top and opens up the hatch. It's like, Grandpa Bill, you gotta come back.
You can't keep doing this, Grandpa Bill.
So then he's like, oh, okay. Let me just get one light out of that fucking thing first.
Yeah, so he's stealing their blinking lights, and he puts in like a solid one, so it fucks up the blinking, and then he gets off on this. Is this the time when he falls off the roof and makes the sex
he does.
the sex swing light thing?
He does, because he's on the roof replacing one of the lights, because that's his weird perversion. And then he slips off, taking all the lights and decorations with him. And when we get back to him, as Mariah realizes that he's been fucking with the lights again, she goes out back behind the house and realizes that Grandpa Bill has strung himself up by a bunch of ropes and lights.
In a very compromising position.
In a very compromising position over a puddle of water that will electrocute and kill him.
Yes, they make that clear. Yeah. They actually go, oh shit, that's a pond. If we just drop Grandpa Bill, he'll fucking die. And it's like, wait, what? Is that what we learned? Is that what we're learning here? Is that actually? I mean, all right.
And Mariah's like, oh, we should save him. And Grandpa's like, no, leave me. I like it.
No, I'm fine, actually. This is pretty good.
Grandpa, are you here?
Grandpa's back is broken,
You gotta be kidding me.
Now, Mariah, it's not what it looks like.
It looks like you're in a BDSM light sex dungeon, Grandpa.
Sure does. Oh no!
I'll unplug you.
Oh, forget about that, because Ingersoll, of course, loves
I'll
it.
unplug you. No, I'm fine.
No. I'm already on. I like being plugged. Actually, I came here to be plugged. Don't worry about it. You can just go back home, kids. It's you just leave Grandpa to his alone time. It's fine.
Fonz, why? Why, Fonz? Come on.
But yeah, so they have the little hijinks of that. They rescue him out of his weird, sexy light perversion.
Right.
And as they're mistreating this dog the whole time, we finally get, like, there's, like, the fashion show that happens, and the dog misbehaves and vomits on the fashion show, and oh my god, she hates this dog so much.
Oh no.
So they mistreat it enough that the dog finally runs away. And, like, runs away. Like, before that, it had gotten out a couple times, but it wasn't...
Yeah, because, like, she had a toy for the toy drive.
Yes.
That she was going to donate to, like, the Santa outside of wherever the fashion show, I guess the shelter.
Yeah, they have, like, this big Santa statue that has a toy bag behind it that you drop in toys for whatever
with
toy
copy-pasted same 4 models of toys over and over again.
It sure was, yeah. It's, there is some cheap animation in this.
I wasn't very confident about getting Princess anymore.
Let's just drop some
It was the night before Christmas
plot here.
Eve.
Also,
I only
can you
had
go back
one
just
more
a second
day
to
to
that
prove
toy
I
box
did.
and pause there?
Like,
you see how many times they've copy and pasted this fucking soccer ball?
There's so many soccer balls.
And
yeah.
Stop. Look at the trains.
Yeah, the trains, the rubber
There's
ducks.
like 5 trains. There's
2 planes, 3 planes right here, actually. Yeah.
2 guitars right at the bottom.
Yeah. It's just copy pasted.
Oh, and a guitar in the back.
Yeah.
I wasn't very confident about getting Princess anymore.
They have 3 models, and they copy and pasted them
It was the
100
night before
times.
Christmas Eve. I
Look,
only had one
they
more
need to
day
push this
see if
out
I
for
could
the
take
holiday
care of a dog.
season. You don't
But I
understand.
didn't think there was anything.
But this is a toy that the parents bought for the dog that she's donating to the kids. So every time the dog wants to like take the toy, she's like, "No, it's not for you." And then she gives it away to further punish this animal that she supposedly loves.
Well, no, she doesn't love it. That's the thing.
That she
She
hates
very
with a
specifically says that
vengeance.
she hates
Mariah
this dog
Carey hates
many
dogs,
times.
allegedly.
Yes, correct. Allegedly, and also very specifically.
Yes. So, but yeah, the dog runs away. So she puts up posters around the town. But before the dog runs away, she says something of like, "I can't wait to get rid of you so I can get Princess instead, who's a good dog."
Correct.
I can't wait to get rid of you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the dog takes this personally because, yeah,
Yes.
I mean, it's been an hour of this dog getting, like, abused by everyone in this family. And then finally they just let it go. Like, it just...
Let it go. And then Anna from Frozen shows up again.
Yeah, but
Anna and Harry Potter do show up again with posters.
they don't put up any Lost
That's not
posters
wrong.
yet, though. No, but they don't put up any Lost posters yet. Like, this was the thing, is that she goes, like, I can't find... Oh, God, I can't even remember the name of this dog now.
The name is Jack.
Is it Jack? I was going to say, I want to say Jack, but it's a Jack Russell, so I'm like, maybe I'm just making that up.
And also, randomly, the mom calls him Mr. Whiskers.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
I don't. Why does it have two names?
At one point, she calls Mr. Whiskers a couple times.
I think. Oh, I
Jack
actually have a
goes
theory
missing.
about the Mr. Whiskers, but
Sure, but Jack goes missing, and they don't immediately put up Lost posters. This is where things get wild, because she's like, I can't find Jack anywhere, and then the dad goes, well, she's like, Uncle Reggie's going to be so mad at me, and I'm not going to be able to get Princess. So that's what she's concerned about. She's not worried at all that their dog has been lost for like 24 hours, out frozen in the snow.
correct.
They're not worried in the slightest. Like, again, it's snowing. It's ice cold. Like, it's showing his lakes frozen over and shit. You can't just leave a Jack Russell out in that. But none of them are worried about this. None of the family is worried about that. She goes, Uncle Reggie is going to be so mad at me, and then I'm not going to be able to get the dog that I want, Princess. And then I goes, oh,
Not this shitty dog. This awful, terrible dog who's just a
God.
dog.
I'm so sorry, Mariah, family. I have something to admit. That isn't Uncle Reggie's dog. See, I got that dog for you, Mariah. And you're like, yeah, okay, yep, this is where the movie's going.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cute. So that you could realize how fucking shitty that dog was, that it's such an awful subhuman monster, and that we could throw it away afterwards because everyone in the family would know how shitty dogs are, and we'd all hate it, and we'd learn the lesson that we all hate dogs, and we could not get Princess anyway because we all hate dogs because of how shitty this dog is. But I've realized that's wrong.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to get you Princess anyways. Forget about that dog. Let's let it freeze to death. I shit you not. That's correct. The fucking place they go. I'm so mad.
And then he's like, all right, now let's go get that good dog.
And everybody cheers, and they go to get the good dog. This is not a joke. I like big blinking lights, not a joke.
Correct. Right.
What?
Yeah, no,
the
it's so
fuck,
fucked
boys?
up. It's real fucked up.
I just like, even
But, like,
saying it now,
yes.
I still am like, I can't. It didn't really happen that way, did it? But it totally did. That's exactly what happens.
I
Well,
thought
get
if
it?
you had a taste
That's
of
a
a
good
bootleg
thing.
Jack,
Yeah.
you'd change your mind about having a dog.
Oh, wait, what?
Yeah!
Oh, this is so much worse!
Son,
I got you
I
a
might
dog
be a
so that you
double
would realize how
but
shitty
even
they
I
are.
wouldn't stoop to
Oh,
such a
no!
So
It did.
Oh,
And
it's
they go
so
to the pet
bad.
store, and there's another boy there who's looking at the dog. And the dog, like, Princess, really wants to go with that boy who will actually treat her well and not be shitty.
Who loves the dog? Yes.
And
yeah,
and
who
Mariah
loves a
looks at
fur
that,
dog?
and for a moment we're thinking, oh, Mariah's just gonna let that kid just like leave sad
Oh
because she
yeah.
wants this dog so much more. But then she realizes, no, that kid wants Princess, and Princess wants that kid, so I should just let them have it because I want Jack.
I guess I'll be good.
Yeah, and her dad in response is like, Jack? What? That defective monster?
Yes.
What?
Yep.
Who wrote this? Did Mariah fucking read this script? I don't
Did
think
anyone?
so. I don't think so.
This is a hatchet job to her reputation. Like
this whole thing is like a hit job to Mariah Carey's.
Oh
like,
yeah, and her family, and her entire family. Like they all look like fucking psychopaths. Like we hate dogs,
Yeah.
and we're going to make you hate this dog as much as we hate all dogs.
I do want to go back
Wow.
to the Mr. Whiskers thing real quick, actually.
Yes, yeah, of course.
Before we move forward. My theory on Mr. Whiskers is that they couldn't decide if they wanted this to be a movie about a puppy or a cat. Which is why she says Mr. Whiskers at some point in the script. My evidence for that is at one point they do a cookie cutter thing where they're cutting cat cookies.
Yes.
And there's an animation gaffe where one of the cat
Yep.
cookies turns back into a pile of dough, which is funny. This movie has a lot of little random animation issues. Especially that it freezes sometimes for like plot reasons, but it just like the whole movie stops. So we're like, did it freeze? Is the movie working? What happened? Is it a straight
It does
issue?
freeze frames, but the thing is that when you're doing animation freeze frames and the animation is this shitty and it's kind of low frame rate and stuff already, that when you suddenly freeze frame in really awkward places that don't look like they should be a freeze frame, you just think that the animation is stuttering, and that's just all the effect is.
And as an aside, Mariah Carey is also the narrator of this particular story, and she'll freeze frame the world to say, I said it's fucking Christmas. And then like Christmas like wreaths will just pop into existence, or I said you were fucking going shopping, kid. And then she'll like get a bunch of shopping bags out of nowhere.
Yeah,
like,
just pop
like she
shopping
has
bags onto the model.
omnipresent,
Powers.
god-like powers over this world, just like Mr. Nobody and Doom Patrol.
It happened at Christmas time.
10 minutes.
Okay.
Hey, come on now. I said it happened at Christmas time. I was feeling pretty confident about getting Princess, so I went shopping.
Wait, this movie can't have
I
a message.
said shopping.
Oh god, every time that happens, I'm like, did the movie stop? What happened?
And she used all of that so that she could abuse this dog and then get a new...
But my theory
God,
on the cat thing is that the children's book about this, shows a scene where Mariah Carey's character is cutting dog cookies.
Oh, okay.
Dog cookies in a cookie cutter. But in the movie, it's cat cookies, and the mom says Mr. Whiskers. So I think they just didn't know if it was a cat or a dog when they started writing the script.
I wouldn't
and
be
they
surprised.
just left those in, and the animation team got lost on what was happening at some point.
Like they just changed their mind. They were like, "Oh, it doesn't market as well as cats. Like, let's market it as dog." We had some focus groups come in, and
but they left those scenes in. So I think that's what happened, and that's why there's a confusion over the pet's name.
Maybe that could certainly. Honestly, I could actually see it with this thing.
But anyway, back to these awful parents and this awful child. So did you know that the song "All I Want for Christmas Is You" is not about the return of a sensual lover in your life, and is actually about a dog?
It's about dog fucking.
Well, I don't want to go that far. But what the fuck?
I can't believe you said that, boy, because I can't believe that you, boy, specifically said that Mariah Carey likes to fuck dogs, and that's what she wrote her song about.
That?
Wow.
Why
can't believe it.
That? But like, it's a song about dogs.
It's really weird that they make this about dogs, because All I Want for Christmas Is You is
it's very sensual song.
Lover,
right?
It's weird to reappropriate that for kids to have like they want this dog real bad.
I guess,
but, I don't know.
I don't fucking what. But anyway, so the cult of dogs, one dog per one child, including Harry Potter and Anna from Frozen, decide to help her find the dog, and the family and the town decides to pitch in because they actually liked how shitty and awful that terrible mutt was.
Yeah, see, like, now they try and actually do the real moral, which is correct, like, that's the way that it should have gone, but they went so far the other direction, there's no way they can pull it back. Like, that's the problem, is that it's like, no, these people should never own any animals. They're awful monsters. Why would we ever want to let them have this dog again? We need to call the SPCA and make sure that they never get any animal. Like, it's... You can't drag it back for how far it went is the issue. Because and I think that's the runtime problem, right? Is that
if it was shorter, you wouldn't run into that problem as much.
If it was shorter, you could have like her do one or two shitty things where she's like, well, I just really want Princess. And it's like, no, Mariah, like, listen, you need to learn to love this dog. But instead, and like, that's just a kid thing. And then instead in this one, because it does that, but then there's another 45 minutes of film they have to fill. So they have to keep doing the shitty things to the dog for another 45 minutes. And you have to keep escalating it because otherwise there's nothing happening. And it escalates to a point where they're going out to replace the fucking dog.
Yes!
Well, their dog is like dying in a ditch. And it's just, what the fuck?
So at some point though, while the town is searching for Jack, Grandpa and Grandma find the mistletoe.
Yes.
Which is the mistletoe hung under the tree that the dogs pee on.
I'm mad that that's what it is, and that you pulled that out that fast. I knew immediately what you meant by mistletoe. I'm like, yeah, that's... They very specifically show the dogs pissing on that tree multiple times, and then...
the mistletoe over the piss tree.
Yeah.
I don't know why they didn't think of that when they put that scene there, but okay. Sure.
Hey, you want to go to our neighbor's house and hang me up again?
They hung the mistletoe, fuck off! They hung the mistletoe above the tree that the dog peed on, by the way.
Oh, what's that?
That's the piss tree. That's where everybody kisses.
Yeah.
Anyways, Mariah finds the dog in the donation bin. With all the copy-pasted toys.
And the one toy
it's going
the dog
to keep
actually
warm,
wanted.
and the one toy it wants. And then she decides on a whim that she actually wants this dog, and that she really loves this dog. The true meaning of Christmas is love, and it's okay to be different and not a robot dog that follows a cult that is probably some sort of a parasitic worm that's infesting the town. I guess it's a lot to take in. Really,
a lot,
quickly.
yes. Yeah.
Very quickly.
Yeah.
And then as they're getting home, the neighbor who's kind of been putting all these lights up and getting fucked with is like, oh, nice to see you. I see you still have no lights up. Oh, you horrible light peasants.
Mm-hmm.
So then the mom's like, you know what, Grandpa Bill? Just go fucking wild. Just let your perversions go through. Decorate the shit out of this place.
You fuck up that neighbor, Grandpa Bill.
You fucking pervert. Go wild.
And Grandpa Bill, like, starts tweaking his nipples and he's like, yes, finally.
And he puts so many lights up that it surprises his neighbor who's on a ladder, blinds him, and the guy falls down and breaks his neck and fucking dies as his grandma's looking at him like,
oh god. Speaking of ladders, there's also another scene where the grandma and the dad is trying to put up Christmas like oh god, like garland?
Garlands, yeah, garlands.
Yeah, he's putting up like garlands or something in the house. Mm-hmm. And the grandma's like, you need to treat that dog better. The grandma's actually good. The grandma's
She's
like the one person in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is like, why are you all treating this dog like shit? This dog's fine. What's wrong with you? Like, when the dog is dirty, she's like, it's dirty because it's a puppy. And the rest of the family is like, oh god, this filthy rat. And she's like, it's a puppy.
It's a dog. You need to give it a bath.
Puppy.
That's how this works.
Yeah. Like but anyways, he's hanging up the garland. Yeah. And the whole time she's like yelling at him, telling him to be better about like doing all the stuff with the dog, which she's right about. But every time she does it, she like hits him with a star. And he's on the top of a ladder and he keeps almost falling, and it's like, Grandma, you're gonna kill him. Like, are you trying to murder your
12-foot step ladder? He's gonna
like
break
he's
something.
way up on the roof of the like it's high up. It's amazing. The ladder safety in this movie is subpar.
At the end, though, the family is making their poop roast. I guess it's a giant turd. I don't know what it's supposed to be. But...
They got a free asset somewhere that was very obviously like a misshapen poop, and they just thought, if we stretch it a little bit, though, and like give it a greasy sheen, maybe we can say it's a roast. Sure. It is. It does not look like a roast.
It just looks like poop. But the dog steals.
If someone puts that in front of me on Christmas Day, I'm standing up and walking out of the house without a word and just driving home. Like,
the dog steals the poop roast, sits in his bed by the fire, and then we end with "All I Want for Christmas Is You," the music video.
The actual music video, yes, over the credits.
Music video, and then also there's Christmas rap afterwards, which you kind of missed a little bit, but.
Yeah, I needed to go.
I guess it's just rap music. I don't know why there's rap music.
I heard a little bit of the intro to it, and I went, "I'm fucking out." I just left.
Nope. I don't. That's this film. This film is about an awful family and an awful child that hates dogs and should never have an animal in their life.
Like, who made this thing? Was it National Enquirer? Were they trying to, like, do, like, Mariah Carey hates dogs on the front of tabloids? Is that what this was?
It is Mariah Carey doing the voice. Her name's on the title. It's her music. It's her music video. Everything
this really feels like a slander of Mariah Carey.
It does. Like, if I was Mariah Carey, I would have sued whoever made this.
Absolutely. Yeah, like, again, I feel bad for her. Like, she actually doesn't deserve this. I'm going to straight up say Mariah Carey seems like a fine enough person. Like, I don't think that she's ever been, I don't really like her music necessarily, but like, as far as I know, I don't think she's ever really been some kind of awful person. And this movie makes her look like a fucking monster. And her family look like monsters. Like, it makes every single person in her life look like a bunch of weird psychopaths that hates dogs. And
basically.
Like, and not only that, but like the fight with the neighbor over the lights it's not set up. It's so petty and gross, because one of the things is that it starts out the very first time, the way that they introduce that whole plot line, that whole subplot, is that she notices the back door open and she goes, "Oh my God, does nobody close the doors in this house?" Which, yes, does nobody close the doors in this house? They leave the door open literally a dozen plus times as plot reasons in this movie. It's fucking weird. But anyways, the door's not open. Oh, wait, I see Grandpa's footprints. Oh no, is he doing it again? And you're like, what is he doing? And then she like runs out and she sees him going like, and like gremlining over it.
Yeah.
Just hiding in the neighbor's bushes, like fucking with their lights, and she has to drag him off of their property as he begs and cries to like wreck their shit. And the neighbor never does anything to them.
No.
Like, you need the reciprocal, like, you need the setup where they're driving down the road, or and the neighbor drives past their house and goes like, "Oh, I see you haven't put up the decorations yet. Oh, that is your decorations. Oh, I'm so sorry for you." You know what I mean?
Like a National Lampoon's Christmas, where he's constantly fighting with his neighbor over decorations. Something.
You need the neighbor to actually reciprocate, though, right? Like, you need the neighbor to be as shitty, or honestly worse, so that it kind of justifies the feud. And instead, at the very, very end, like you said, the neighbor was like, "Oh, is that your decorations?" And then the mom is like, "All right, fine, fuck him up."
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, the reason why that happens, the reason why the mom goes, "All right, fine, fuck him up," is I actually agree with the mom a little bit, because that's the very first time that neighbor has ever done anything wrong to them. Correct. Or even talked to them in the entire movie.
They're just like doing their own thing because they like putting decorations up. That's it.
Correct. He never looks at them. He never talks to them. They never, no character interacts with Mr. Ingersoll at all the entire movie. You see him in the house looking out at Grandpa, and that's it. Like,
Yeah.
he doesn't have any conversations with anybody. So why were you being this shitty to the guy? Like, you're fucking up his $1,000 display of lights, like ripping them down and making your weird BDSM light swings with it.
Grandpa Bill needs an S&M light show, all right? Like,
but like at the same time,
him. Come on, it's all he's got left.
He's done nothing. This dude did nothing wrong to this family, and they treat him like such shit. Like, that's what everything that they do in this movie to everybody else is so unbelievably petty and shitty and gross, and nothing that they do throughout the movie near the end of it wipes that away. Like, they don't do anything to repair any of the damage that they've done in any meaningful way. It just makes them look like monsters the whole time. Right. Just an incredible film.
It's wild. I think I can summarize this whole film with this review on Rotten Tomatoes by Janine J. Half a star, which is the lowest you can give on Rotten Tomatoes, I think.
Oh, yes.
If I could give this negative stars, I would. Probably the most depressing and unsettling movie I've ever seen. It depicts a young, uncaring girl who is emotionally cruel to a puppy who she is taking care of to earn the pretty puppy that she actually wants. She continually takes things away from him that she got for the pretty puppy. He really wants a toy, and she takes it from him and donates it. The heartwarming ending is anything but. The poor puppy runs away after being told he's unwanted, and then the girl and her family don't bother to go looking for him, and instead they go to buy the pretty puppy. He's left out in the cold for 2 fucking days before they consider going to look for him. I'm heartbroken that anyone made this movie, and that there is a single human that thinks this is okay. My daughter and I were left upset and depressed. Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You. Put it on the back of the box.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, that review is dead on. I mean, besides the fact that it's the most despicable thing that she's watched. I'm sure it is for her. She needs to watch more dog movies.
No, we've watched way worse movies, for
this
sure.
Is so much. Yeah, this is mild. This is absolutely nothing. Last week's episode, if you want to see despicable, I mean, I direct you to Chili Dogs 2001.
The only thing I can say is if you want a nice, heartwarming film about cute dogs, just go watch Dogman 2.
You know, The Wrath of the Litter. Yeah.
It's a very important film. It makes me very heartwarming. It should be in everybody's Christmas stocking.
Absolutely. I'm personally going around my neighborhood, breaking into my neighbors' houses and putting it in their stocking.
And putting it in their stocking and under their tree. Yeah. I'm known as the Dogman 2 caper.
The Dogman bandit.
He just breaks in and leaves Dogman 2. It's fucking terrifying. I don't even have a DVD player anymore. What is this? Oh no. It's Dogman 2.
We're obviously so done with this movie. This movie, it's just... I'm glad in a way. Like, I'm actually, as a podcast, I'm really happy that it wasn't what I expected, because I thought at the end of it, I'm like, okay, well, and then they're just going to have the regular moral lesson and whatever. It's just a really boring children's movie that goes too far in treating the dog bad. But then they go, like, 10 steps further in treating the dog bad than even I expected. And it's just... holy shit. Like, I still can't believe the dad... The reveal of the dad being like... Well, like, actually, I gave you this dog because I knew that you would hate it as much as I hate it, and you would treat it like shit, so that then you would learn to hate all dogs, and we wouldn't have to get one. And the mom's like, yeah, this sounded like a good idea. And you're like, what the fuck?
What the fuck? Look, my whole life, ruined by
dogs.
The movie. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. You know, Mark, Merry Christmas.
You know,
Merry
that's
Christmas,
the real
everybody.
meaning of Christmas. Yeah.
Merry Christmas, everybody. And that's, let's rate the dogs. Or let's rate Jack.
Yeah, let's rate Jack. Jack is very cute, is just not given enough attention, is extremely lovable, does all the cute dog things, and doesn't get a single fucking pet in this whole movie.
Jack does absolutely nothing wrong. I just want to, like, Jack does nothing wrong out of 10 is what I'm going to put.
Hashtag
I am
Team Jack.
1,000% Team Jack. Yes, fuck Mariah Carey, Team Jack. I'm gonna show up at Mariah Carey concerts holding up a sign that says "Fuck Mariah Carey." Hashtag Team Jack. Nobody's
gonna know what the fuck it means. Well,
she'll know.
Fair,
I'll look her in the eyes, and there's gonna be a tear rolling down her cheek because she's gonna remember voicing this pile of shit.
Whenever you go to Mariah Carey concert, they hand you a pill of E. Like that's why she was having all those weird, fucked up magic dreams while she was sniffing glitter.
God,
like, she would probably think the sign's fine. It was like, oh, Jack, I remember Jack. I just dreamed about him. I was flying through the sky.
Anyways, Jack did nothing wrong. Mariah Carey did everything wrong. She's a criminal, and so is everyone who made this movie.
A 12 out of 10. 12 out of 10 for me. That's a very good dog.
Do we want to rate Princess? Princess is a cute little poodle.
I guess.
Jack Russ, like, this is the other thing that I want to say about this movie really quickly, is that all of the other dogs, because they are, as you said, like, super carbon copies of their owners. Like, if their owner turns, they turn. If they nod their head, the dog nods their head. Like, it's that
I don't think there's another real dog in this movie. I think it's just... No,
exactly. Like, that's what I was kind of going to say, is that, like, this movie hates dogs because this is the only dog that acts like a dog and acts, like, fun and interesting and has personality. And for that, it is ostracized and tortured, basically. And I don't feel like it's even worth rating the other dogs because they're not dogs. Like, they don't even exist.
They're robots. They're too sterile to be dogs.
You might as well have just not had them. You might as well have not animated 90% of the dogs in this movie because they're just the kids. Like, it might as well have just have been Mariah Carey wants a dog and not have her shitty friends have dogs and want her to have a dog. It could just be a thing that she wants. Like, and if you made every other child in this movie not have a dog next to them and not talk about, like, they don't even talk about dogs. So you just had them not have dogs next to them and her just go like, oh, I want a dog. Nothing in this movie would change.
Correct.
It'd still be the same movie. So you could take out every other dog in this film besides Princess and Jack. And that would just be the movie. And even Princess is just a MacGuffin. Princess is there for 2 scenes.
Princess
is a MacGuffin. Right. It is. Princess is literally a MacGuffin. Princess is just an object of power.
Do you think that's what gives you the power of narration when you get control of Princess?
When you get whoever controls Princess controls the world of this god.
And it was at that time that Boix and Ilion realized that their podcast must come to an end. I said their podcast must come to an end.
Except that I control Princess for a second because I do want to say that it's so fucked up that, again, the kid that wanted Princess, like, just to pound home how bad these people are, the kid that wanted Princess is like, oh man, I really want this dog. And the pet store owner goes, well, they put down a down payment on it. And the dad's like, that's right, we did. Get the fuck out of here, kid. And they're like, just like do it to this kid's face. And the kid's like, oh, I guess if they bought it. And they're like, that's right, we did. You get out of the store. Get the fuck out of here. And they're like,
this is a capitalist hellscape, and we spent money on this dog before you ever got here.
And then eventually, once the kid's out the door and he's like staring in through the window with like his face pressed to the glass, and Princess is whimpering and crying, they're like, wait, is this wrong?
The real meaning of Christmas?
Is this what we're supposed to be doing in this movie? And you're like, no, it wasn't. No, this is horrible.
Oh, man.
It goes that far. Podcast over. You can check us out on roughcutscast@gmail.com if you want to send us some suggestions for movies. We saw this at the top of your list, and we're like, I mean, we have to do it, right?
We have to. It's fucking
Mariah Carey. What is this fucking thing that says Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You with her with a shitty animated dog on the cover? What the fuck is this thing? And it turns out this is it. This is the thing. You can check us out. Also, we'll try and put some clips up of this movie. What we can, if you want to see some of the really bad animation and like copy cutter, like the cookie cutter animation stuff that they have, like all of the 4 toys repeated 5 different times in the toy box and shit like that. We'll try and put some of those up on our Twitter. So that's at Rough Cuts Cast on Twitter. And yeah, hopefully you all have a happy holidays. We might be a little sporadic over the next little while. I have some big charity things coming up, and obviously Christmas is out. So I'm not sure exactly when we're going to be getting the next episode, but we'll try and get one out before the new year, I believe. And other than that, we will see you in 2022.
Yeah. The important lesson I learned is I should never try to be like Mariah Carey.
Yes,
Happy holidays.
no one should be like Mariah Carey. Have you seen her? She's a monster.
That's the message of the film. Yep.
Fuck Mariah Carey.
Happy holidays. Yeah.
Happy holidays. The true meaning of Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh my God. All I want for Christmas is you as a threat. I just realized it. This is Mariah Carey. She's going like, I want you. And it's like, no, Mariah, you don't want me. Not me, please.
Like every dog in the pet store is like, no.
Please, no. Don't send me to Mariah. Oh my God.
Okay.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Grandpa and Grandma find the mistletoe